And we are back. Thanks for staying with us. It is time to go through the front pages of the newspaper. And of course, I won't be doing this alone. I've got Mike Masikana.
Is that how you used to introduce your analyst with that respect?
Mike Masikana.
What kind of decision? I'm not analyzing it.
All right, let's do this quickly. Quite interesting headlines. Stories actually making the headlines on the papers this morning. And on the Daily Trust newspaper, we have subsidy removal, Naira devaluation hike RAM price. And, okay, so we don't have Daily Trust right now. So let's move over to the Guardian newspaper. And on the Guardian newspaper, making the headlines here, we have digital switchover falters. 29 states remain on analog. And
so digital switchover, we've been expecting this since at the last time I knew, 2015. You know, there was supposed to be that digital switchover when it comes to television and all of that. That means that terrestrial people will not be able to access airwaves terrestrially the way we used to. That means everything will be in the box. Yeah, free to air and all of that. This has been a long time coming. The world at different points, there were different dates. It was shifting and shifting and shifting. You know, 1 year, 2 years, 2015. I know there was a real push around 2015 time because I remember what I was doing then. I had just put up a few years into broadcasting, and then there was all that talk about the digital switchover. But as it stands here, as a country, are we set infrastructurally for that? No, we're not yet ready. We're not yet ready. You know, after that time, you know, there was even talk about the demise of radio. Everything was going to be online. But first of all, as a country, are we that data? You know, we are. Yes, everything now relies on data. But do we have
the resources
that is in such a way that we have enough data to power everything? To do? So the point now is that if everybody cannot do it, then it's going to be a problem. You understand? From what we can see from the Guardian, we can see states like Rivers State.
Rivers State, yeah. You know, we could also
there's
see
Lagos. There's you know, Kwara State.
Plateau.
There's the FCT. You know, there's Plateau State. There's Kano State. That's too few. That's too few. It's supposed to be something that
more widespread.
You know, more widespread and all that. So the NCC and all the bodies involved in and all of that, there's quite a lot of work to be done. We cannot keep giving deadlines and keep pushing them, as it were. Okay,
let's move over to the Daily Trust newspaper. We have that right now. And making the headlines here, subsidy removal, Naira devaluation hike RAM price. Of course, we all know that the subsidy removal has actually affected the cost of goods and services. Everything is going up. Right?
It does.
And
it does.
so, Ilea is around the corner, sir.
It is. Of course, the Sultan announced 28th and 29th as a celebration at Eid al-Qadir. Yeah, and it's going to be it's a celebration. This is the one that you give us RAM, right? This is it.
So we eventually get to eat RAM meat.
So they're not going to tell us that this is not the big one. This is not the RAM. Oh no, this is it. And you know, I've been hearing different prices and jokes about how some people are talking about RAM as high as 500,000 naira and all of that. Yes, it affects them. But something I love about the religion is that, see, you don't have to buy a whole ram. Families can come together. So at this particular point in time, what happens? The same way we're talking about carpooling, you have to rampool.
Exactly.
So families can come together, right? That's okay. You know, come together and contribute and get the ram, and then you share it. That's okay. That's how it's done. So we have to find ways to go around all of
I think that's a formula that's really going to work, and it's a good one.
Yeah,
I really hope that a lot of families can.
I mean, that's why I love the religion. So I'm looking forward to my ram.
But then again, does that not also affect the size of ram meat?
See, the point is that even if it's so a reference I wanted to make, but no, let's just leave that one now. The point is that you are partaking in the festivities as it were,
exactly.
You know, and whichever way. And I love that it's a time to share, it's a time to give. So, you know, no matter how small, find a way, it will go around.
Yeah. Okay, there's another story that actually got my attention, and this particular story is on all of the papers. EFCC releases Otom after 9 hours of questioning. And of course, we all know that he was summoned yesterday by the EFCC yesterday on misappropriation of funds worth over 187 billion naira.
You see, the thing about the EFCC, recently also, I think just a few days back, we heard the story of the case of, you know, the Ikoyi flats, where different currencies in different denominations were found in that flat. We heard about prosecution for the case not being available and all of that, and so that the case has been dropped or so. I as it stands, the EFCC has at different times been accused of selective, selective judgment when it comes to different things. So I'm trying to say that, look, at this particular point in time, there's a new EFCC, an acting EFCC, chairman there and all of that. Hopefully, we are not selective in the way we deliver justice. If anybody has been found to misappropriate funds, then that person should be made to dance to the tune of the music that he or her played.
I agree with you.
Should not be selective.
I agree with you. And so let's move on to another paper this morning, and that is the Vanguard newspaper. And making the headlines here, anxiety as ex-depot petrol price rises to 490 naira per litre. And well, we are hoping that the price drops, yet it's increasing. So and here we are seeing a retail price rises to 515, and major marketers lived at 446.57 per litre. Wow. Mike.
Okay, so the point is that, yes, they're talking about the depot price, the ex-depot price, because, of course, when it comes into the depot, these people buy, and then, of course, they're going to add what their transportation and all of that, and, of course, it's going to fall down to the end consumer. It is now a free market. The price is now open there and all of that. So we need competition. As it stands, it is reported that it is only Dangote that will be importing fuel up until his refinery gets to work. I don't know how that will help, but look, when there's competition in the market, then you would see prices that are favorable, because look, people will have to find a way to sell. But the point is that another annotation on that headline says that there is no regulation at the filling stations. Now that is the problem. It's good. It might be for a while. We might not have regulation because people are sourcing for the money and sourcing for the product on different ways. So you can't tell the person to have a fixed price, because then when we had a overhead regulator, a watchdog selling at that price, then you could regulate. But now it's going to be harder because people are doing it on their own. So now my point is that it might take some time before we can think of regulation when it comes to the filling stations. That is how it will be for now. It takes some time for that balance.
I am really looking forward to the regulation, because it's actually going to cause some sort of stability, in the system. Okay, let's move over to the Punch newspaper, and making the headlines here, new service chiefs, 100 military generals may be retired.
Normal.
And on the riders here, retirement guild to hit Army, Air Force, Navy, Course 37. Others may be affected. And of course, we have a picture story here of the Vice President Shettima here decorating the acting Inspector General Egbetokun as Baba Bag's successor to succeed.
Yeah, so as it happens here, retiring of military chiefs happens every time a new chief is appointed. That's a normal thing. The point is that wherever you get a chief from, all those who are above him have to retire.
Of course.
It's a normal thing. It's a normal thing, And then a new administration wants to work with who he wants to work with. So people are talking about, how Hurricane Tinubu is coming, he has swept. It's a normal thing. Every administration does it. It's not strange.
Nothing new.
Exactly. So you take out, you pick who is going to pick. Everybody that is above him on the hierarchy has to retire, because hey, you cannot have the head of a particular armed force and then you have somebody who was there before him or who has a higher position. It's just a normal thing.
All right, and that's it on the newspaper this morning. Thank you so much, Mike. It's been a pleasure doing this with you. We've got a quick break now, people. Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit. Stay with us.